and beat him up, blah, blah.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Nana's channel. Today, what I have for you guys is the anticipated video showing you guys exactly what the USCIS is looking for, and this is going off of proof from an actual RFE request that was posted in one of my Facebook groups. So I will go through that letter in its entirety to give you guys some more insight and some more details about what you should be including and what may not even be necessary to include in your removal of conditions application. Stay tuned for more. Okay, so I tried to record this video standing up, but it's way too much information and I wasn't feeling it, so I had to get comfortable. But anyways, back to the topic at hand. Now, let's just do a small disclosure from now on as far as my immigration videos go. Just want to make you guys aware, and of course you guys should already be aware, but for those who are new, I am not an immigration lawyer. I do not have schooling in the field of immigrations or anything pertaining to it. All my videos have been from personal experience. All of my videos have been from personal experience and just basically studying and researching things on my own and then sharing them with you. So, yeah. Okay, so what we were talking about was basically the letter. So there was a letter that was posted in one of my Facebook groups stating, it was basically a request for more evidence of good faith marriage. And basically the letter just let them know that they had insufficient evidence and that they needed more. But the letter also went into detail about what held more weight, what didn't, and what they thought that they were missing, as well as a complete list of things that should be inserted in your I-751 packet. So first things first, on the list, they had, and if you guys see me looking down, of course, I have my notes here because it is a lot of information. But you should include copies of everything. Do not send any originals. So a copy of your passports, you and your spouses, a copy of your IDs, driver license, or identification. This for both. So for you and your spouse, send both. It shows matching addresses, which hopefully you do have. And it does hold weight with the USCIS. The next thing would be birth certificates. So your birth certificate being the petitioner, your spouse's birth certificate is not necessarily needed, but you can include it if you want. Samora. One of the most important birth certificate. One of the most important birth certificate copies that should be inserted is any children that you guys have together. Now, my oldest daughter, as you guys are aware, is not biologically Benjamin's child. However, we still did include her birth certificate because that is her dad, and then we'll get into more about stepchildren in a little bit because they play a very important role if you have stepchildren in your marriage, okay? The next part is a copy of your marriage certificate. Now, some people say that you shouldn't insert it because the USCIS already knows that you are technically married. However, what I took from this, me and my husband was able to actually get a certified copy of registering our marriage in the state of Maryland or in Baltimore. So we did go to the courthouse and get a certified copy stating that basically Baltimore County is aware and they do uphold our marriage that was not held here in the States. However, they do uphold it. You do have to take your original marriage certificate or marriage license to the courthouse, and then you'll get a date to come down. They'll review all your information that you brought, and it was very simple. There is a fee, so check the fees. It may be different in your area, but it was 1, 2, 3 and done, basically in and out, which was great. But that is a very important part to add so that they know that, Zamora, go see what daddy's cooking. Go see what daddy's cooking. All right, thank you. So it is a very important piece of evidence so that they know that you guys just didn't get married in another country and you just neglected to worry about making sure that it was basically upheld here in the United States. The next important thing that they do hold heavy weight to is tax returns. So I have seen where couples are married, but they are filing separate. Send in that information. It should state married filing separate. Or if you're married filing jointly, make sure that you put those tax returns in there as well. Now, the only thing or issue that I have noticed with this is sometimes the first year when your spouse is here in the States, you do not file taxes together. Say your spouse was unable to find much work at that time, or for some reason you just thought it would be better to file separately. I would write a statement of some sort and put it in the packet, letting them know, hey, we did not file jointly for this year. However, we did file jointly, or we filed married but separate the second year. Now, after the tax returns, they had notated that this also carries weight, and that is insurance cards. So insurance cards could be property insurance, life insurance, health insurance. They want to see that you guys are all on the same policies, or you made plans to have beneficiaries as far as your life insurance goes, and your spouse is your beneficiary, and that you're just serious. Like that's definitely a big step. So we were able to submit that information. Insurance cards could also be vehicle insurance, that you guys are on the same vehicle insurance together. But according to the letter that they sent, that does hold high weight to the USCIS. The next part was joint bank accounts. Now, joint bank accounts, with our first packet, I literally just sent a letter. It was like a monthly statement that had both of our names on it. However, after further research and from the letter that was posted that I'm giving you guys the information from, the USCIS wants to see the actual statements for like months, like 6 months to a year worth of statements, because they want to see the transaction and the history, and basically just go through your financials piece by piece to make sure that your finances are intermingling. So there was, I did not print out all of that stuff for the first packet for the one that was accepted. It was printed out for the second. So now we will have to redo that. But the biggest thing, and one of the issues that this individual had with their packet, was that their statements were like jumpy. So they gave 1 month from 2018 and gave like 2 months from 2019. And it just wasn't enough. The USCIS said basically it wasn't anything to them because it wasn't congruent months or whatever, and it wasn't enough statement. So definitely look into that and try to send in as much as you can from those. Let's see. The next part, as I stated in the beginning, the stepchildren that are in your family. If you guys are deciding to go through an adoption, if you guys have already went through an adoption, or if you have a court order stating guardianship of any kind, those hold weight, showing that your spouse is basically the step parent and taking charge. So showing that your spouse has stepped up to be that step parent to your children holds huge weight with the USCIS. And it doesn't have to be as big as an adoption form or guardianship form, because those things take money. We have looked into it. We are going to go through with it. But, you know, filing paperwork and actually going before court, you got to pay for those things. So in the meantime, if you do not have that, from this letter, I have learned that showing them that you have notated your children as, or your spouse as the contact person or emergency contact person on their school forms, on their doctor forms or whatever, If you have that, then that can hold extreme weight with the USCIS. So it doesn't necessarily have to be the full adoption decrees or guardianship from court orders or whatever. It can be something as simple as a document that you had to fill out for school stating that your spouse is the emergency contact or alternate contact for your child. Next was a lease, deed or mortgage. If some people are in situations like me and my husband, we are fortunate enough to own a home. However, it was given down to me. But my name isn't on anything. We don't have necessarily a deed or a mortgage because it is paid off. And the deed process, getting my name switched over, it cost a pretty penny. So we haven't went down that route yet. However, we were able to, you just write a statement and let them know about our situation. Your situation may be different. Maybe you live with your mother or a friend or whatever. See if they're willing to just write a statement for you or create a lease. You can literally download a blank lease offline and fill the information out with your own information and sign it from there. So definitely look into that. The last piece of information that held high weight or somewhat high weight, it said mid weight or something. So it held some type of weight, but not high. Would be the affidavits from friends and family. Just make sure that they do provide their full information, name, address, phone number, all that good stuff, just in case anything comes up where they have to testify on your behalf, so the USCIS can get in contact with them. And yeah, so that was pretty much all the things that were on the list that held high weight. So try to focus on these things. I will also post a list of the items down below in the description box. If I don't, you can email me. I have them in my email. If I forget to put them down there, and I can send you the email direct. So yeah, so any other questions, comments, or concerns, or have anything to add that I may have missed, guys, leave it down below. Comment down in the description box. My contact information as well as how to follow me on social media is also down in the description box. And let's continue this. So I look forward to speaking with you guys in my next video. Still working on some edits on some new and upcoming features. So thank you guys for hanging in there with me. And as always, thank you for watching Nana's channel. Stay blessed.